Traxxas Xmaxx with the potato gun. You're goddamn right. What you're looking at is a modified design of a regular potato gun strapped to the back of my Traxxas Xmaxx and fires with the remote. Check this out. Now this sucker's pretty loud because of that short barrel, and you'll be able to find out for yourself because I'm about to walk you through how I built this thing. Alright, now I'm going to explain how you can build your own. I bought all the PVC at Home Depot. I didn't have really a plan in mind. Sort of had like rough calculations, and I just walked around the store for a good amount of time. But what you have is a 4-inch section going down into a 2-inch section. This barrel from this point forwards is 21.5 inches long, just to give you a reference point. But then you go from a 2-inch to a 4-inch section, and there's a slight amount of 4-inch PVC pipe that connects these two. And so this piece has this nozzle that goes upwards, which is more necessary for this design because the back cap rests onto the bed of the Xmaxx body, and you're unable to fill it there. Typically, most potato cans you fill from the bottom, so this sort of eliminates that problem. And so then this piece ends here, so there's a little bit of 2-inch PVC pipe to this cap, and then you spray your hairspray in from this angle. One thing I would recommend is I have a screw for like a bump stop, so that way your potato can't fall into your cannon, which is a bit more of an issue now that the exit hole isn't big and at the back. And the one other thing you're going to want to do, which is pretty common, is you're going to want to shave down the end here. Sort of helps cut the potato and get it in there more nicely. So in the videos you saw it smoke a lot. That is because I spray a lot of WD-40 on the inside, which sort of helps seal the potato, and I feel like it makes it shoot it farther, but it also provides a nice amount of white smoke, which is quite, it adds to the drama. So the other thing I did was I put it on taser, and I previously had this set up with an grill lighter, and I can show you it working. Yeah, so when I was building this, I had it set up on a grill lighter, which is what's used in the videos you're watching. But after a couple shots, I kept having issues with it not wanting to light, and I found the taser was a much more reliable option. And the other issue I had was I couldn't get the fuel pickup to work with the orientation of the cannon when it was on the car. So that was the other reason I switched to using a taser. This is the taser I used, and if you're having issues with Amazon not wanting to ship to your address, I would try eBay. That's all I'm going to say. One thing I forgot to mention is you're going to have to take the taser apart using those couple screws, and you're going to have to solder on wire leads. And I just did these to a little connector, and these screws are sitting they're sitting like this far apart inside the cannon. So this is plexiglass here. I wouldn't really recommend it. I probably would use something like carbon fiber or aluminum. This is very fragile. I broke a couple of these plates while making it. Just for a reference point, these screws are drilled all the way through the PVC. I haven't had any issues with like it like firing back out right here, but these screws aren't drilled all the way through. And then the screws on the bottom here are just attached with a nut. They're nothing crazy. And the servo literally just hits the on button for the taser. It's pretty rudimentary. And for the mounting of the system, I used a very long drill bit. You know, it was thinner than this to drill all the way through, so that way I'd have a solid connection point. And then drilled it out to the right size of this like threaded rod I bought. Screwed a couple, or like twisted a couple of these nuts on real tight, and then just took the drill, slid it on there, and that way I was able to screw it through relatively quickly. And how that bolts on is I made these little brackets, and then they sit right there. And I drilled through the side rocker on the Xmaxx, and you know that hardware goes through, and then these are mounted straight up like that. I haven't really had any issues with this, but this is more of a parade vehicle. I would say I'm not bashing this thing. I'm driving it slow when it's got the cannon on. It's not the most stable. I wouldn't go around jumping this thing with the cannon on. I don't think this is a good solution for that. Alright, so once the side pieces are in, then I put the body on. And then I just tighten the nuts down right there, so this is in place. And then you're going to want to take your servo wire, and I just cut a hole in the back of this body. And at this point now there's a couple more holes that could be used. I built this about 2 years ago, and I wanted to make a video on it, but I never did. So once that's in there, I have a servo extension wire already plugged in the receiver, and I just reach under the body and I plug those in. And that is going to be on a 3rd channel, which is something else you're going to have to change. So this is your standard, TQI remote that comes with these vehicles, and there's no button to press to activate the servo. I put this on a Dumbo remote. This is a 6-channel remote. So you got channel 1, or channel 1, 2, and then 3 is this button, and then 4, fuck. But I put this vehicle on a Dumbo remote. This is a 6-channel remote, and right now I have it on channel 4, so when I flip this switch forwards, it flips the servo into the ignition, and it fires. These I'm not really the biggest fan of. They are very basic, and there's no presets, so if you have multiple vehicles on the same one, you're constantly changing features. Hard to get the throttle trim perfect. So I wouldn't really recommend this remote anymore. I actually really like the FlySky GT7X is what I think this is. Same 6-channel thing. I think these are like 70 bucks. I think those are like 40. But these are fantastic, and you can do much more things, and they've came in very handy with other projects I've done, which wouldn't be possible with the Dumbo. So I'd recommend something like that. But besides that, you're about ready to party. Got a little strap that I wrap around here so this doesn't rotate like this, but other than that, proportionally, I don't think it looks too terrible. But if you want to build one or have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them, but till then, enjoy.